We're the PE guys, and we're back with some indoor activities and games for your enjoyment. Mike, you want to introduce what we're going to be doing today?
So today we're going to be doing an indoor activity called Freitas Bowling. Now, if you're from my school, of course, you've never played this game before, but when I was younger as a student, my father used to use bowling pins, old bowling pins, and flat basketballs. So.
Yeah, and today, well, we have neither of those, so we're going to use what we have in the house. We have found plastic bottles, all recyclable.
Filled with water for weight.
Yeah, we put a little water, a couple ounces. And if you don't have those, red Solo cups. I know everybody's having a fun time these days, so red Solo cups are another option. If you don't have those, you can grab plastic cups from inside. No breakables though. And what are we going to knock them down with, Mike?
So if you don't necessarily have balls that might be applicable for us, we like spike balls because it's a little softer. It fits in the hand, formed really well, so it's easier to hold. We also have some more options. You've probably seen some of these balls in our other videos, but we have a volleyball. Just make sure they're more flat than full. Soccer ball, basketball can work. We don't have a basketball with us today. Tennis ball, and then if you're really having a hard time bowling, I call this the automatic strike. We got our exercise ball.
Yeah, in fact, we played a little human bowling with this the other day, but we had a bed behind us, so when the pins knocked down when we fell, we crashed in something soft. But not today. Today we're going to go over the Freitas Bowling techniques. There's 5 steps. You have your ready position, where you're focusing on the roll. You have your approach, which are the steps you take. You have your arm swing, nice. And you have your release, and naturally your follow through. I put a little kick into it just for style points. So, 5 steps to bowling that I use. Don't have the room, you might just leave it to an arm swing, step, follow through and release. All that stuff in order. Nope, not that order, but close. Anyway, scoring, Freitas Bowling. There's 5 different scores. Mike, you want to talk about them?
Okay, so there's 2 options at the beginning, or we'll say 3 options that you can really get. If you miss the pins completely, of course you get 0 points. If you hit 1 pin, it's worth 1 point. And if you hit, of course, 2 pins down on your first throw, it's 2 points. So each frame we have 2 throws. If you miss on your first time, you get a second chance.
Hey Mike, what if I knock them all down at 2 rolls of the ball? What do I get?
So if you knock all the pins down within 2 throws, you get a spare.
Spare.
Now for our point total, a spare is worth 5 points. Okay, so 3 for the pins, and then it's 2 extra bonus points for the spare.
Hey, I've been lucky too. Sometimes I get them down on my first roll of the ball.
So if you get a strike, if you get all 3 pins down the first roll, you get 10 points. So 3 for the pins, and then 7 bonus points for the strike.
Hey, to make this really simple for us older and younger people, we have 10 frames we're going to use. That's fine. You can use as many frames as you want. But for each frame, we're going to put the score of each frame. So if I got a strike in frame 1, I'll put a 10 there. So I don't even have to add my first ball. That was my first ball. If I got a spare, I got 5 points in that next frame. And so on and so forth. If I rolled 2 gutter balls, we don't have gutters, but I get a 0. But put a little smiley face in the middle, makes you happy. So our game will be completed. Then the great thing is we get to use our math skills. Add them all up, see our totals, and see how we did. And Mike, we thought we'd make this a little more exercise oriented. So how's that going to work?
Since bowling is a more leisurely game, we're going to add a list of exercises. We haven't done it yet, but you can agree upon your group on what exercises you feel you can do. So it could be jumping jacks, push-ups, tricep dips. You could be doing squats, crunches, sit-ups. So there's a bunch of different exercises that we've covered in other videos, but just make a list. And each time at the end of each frame, whoever loses will say that round has to do one of the exercises. Once you've done one of the exercises, you'll cross it out, and you won't have to do it again. You'll just keep on doing it, and basically either until you have no more exercises left on your list, or you can do 10 frames if you want.
Well, we just turned that game into a great activity. So hey, let's start bowling.
Okay.
What do you want to use for today, Mike?
I'm feeling a spike ball, just because our pins are situated perfectly for it. So that's one thing I forgot to mention. Now, we are using 3 pins. That's how Freitas Bowling works. The spacing, the way it works, is dependent on the size of the ball you're using. So you'll have your first pin here in front, followed by the spike ball, then you'll place your 2 other water bottles or pins to the side of them. And then when you pull it out, that should be the right spacing. So you don't want the pins or the water balls too close, you don't want them too far.
Well, if you don't have the smaller ball, you got the big volleyball working.
So we'll do the same thing with the volleyball, stick it in behind the first pin, then followed by the water bottles on each side, just so you have the right spacing.
All right. Well, Mike, let's Rochambeau to see who rolls first.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, whoo!
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh,
I guess I'm going first.
Well, he's rolling his 2 balls first, and my job's to score keep and roll the balls back. Okay, Mike, your rolls.
Yeah, I'll grab the score sheet for you.
Put a little pep in your step. Here we go.
Okay. So we're going to be using our alleyway here, which has a nice long lane. If you happen to have hallways on both sides, you could always use the walls as bumpers if you need it. We're just going to be straight shot. So I'm in my ready position with my dominant hand, ball inside. I'm going to take my approach, instead of falling through forward.
Ooh, nice shot, Mike. Now I'm going to clear the pins. I noticed, you see, we don't get bank shots in bowling, so I'm going to cushion the blow a little. Here we go, roll 2.
Roll 2, here we go. Ooh, I missed, gutter ball.
Oh, a gutter ball. So Mike's got 1 pin down, simple. Gonna put a 1 right in frame number 1. And now it's time for Coach Freitas to let it roll. Okay, set them up, Mike.
I need the other pin.
It's behind the pillow.
Oh, there it is. It's hiding. Okay, so we'll set up our pins just again. Make sure it's the size of the ball. Then lift out. Make sure you don't knock the pins down.
Give me a toss.
You want the other one? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one I want to use. Here we go. I'm going to use my 1-step approach. Oh!
Ooh, gutter ball.
All right. Need a straight pendulum swing. Here we go. Oh! So 1 it is. Anyway.
Okay. Now, if it comes to a situation where maybe you tie, just because we tied there with 1 point, you could always do rock, paper, scissors to figure out who's doing the exercise. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh!
Okay, so in that case, I lost, so
10 push-ups,
10
sir.
push-ups. Okay, sounds good. I'm doing military push-ups, so I'm going to have my elbows in, palms facing forward, nice and straight, 90 degrees over my chest, all the way down to my chest hits the ground. 1, 2,
Nice job.
3, 4, 5.
Hey, on your last
6,
one, throw a little clap
7,
in there.
8, 9, 10.
Oh, that away. Good job. Oh, a little extra.
One.
Anyway, hey, Freitas Bowling, it's fun. We made it an exercise game as well. So you can do it yourself, practicing your own score. You can get a family member or even the whole family out there. Have a great time and enjoy.
We'll see you on the next episode. Bye.